All right, and welcome back, everyone, to the second part of our morning show. This is our RF Sports Radio morning show with Royce. Thank you for joining us, Royce.
Thank you, Rodney.
All right, we talked a little bit about Javon Belcher. We talked about Bob Costas, the 49ers and the Rams. Let's talk a little bit about the Redskins and Giants. The Redskins get the win over the Giants on Monday Night Football. RG3, of course, spectacular performance from him. A very simple offense that they run in Washington, but a very effective offense. So let me get your opinion. Do the Redskins right the ship? Do they make it to the playoffs?
The way they playing now, I think so. I think they're a better team than the Cowboys. They just proved Sunday that they're a better team than the Giants. And with Robert Griffin at the helm, man, I mean, anything's possible. This guy is fantastic. Love to see him play. Hope he does make the playoff his first year. I mean, he's a one-man wrecking crew, man.
Mm-hmm.
This guy really outplayed Eli Manning in that game. And I think the team rallies behind him. As he goes, the team goes, and he can go. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've got a good shot to get there. It's gonna be rough, but they got a really good shot to get there. They even have a shot to win that division. I mean, they do have the lead in the division at 3-1, and teams in that division, and the Giants are 2-3.
Right.
So they have an opportunity to even win that division. But again, they've just got to stay healthy and keep RG3 healthy is the biggest concern of mine, as he's taking a lot of hits running that offense that they run, similar to what he ran in Baylor, but he's just taking too many hits at the NFL level.
Yeah, Shanahan addressed that on Sunday night. You know, saying he takes a lot of hits. He wish he'd go down more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of hard to tell this guy. He's a runner.
True.
You know, he ran
True.
track.
True.
It's kind of hard to tell this guy to go down. But he's going to learn how to slide and go down early and run out of bounds to save his health. Otherwise, you know, guys are going after the quarterback. And that's one guy that I'm pretty sure that linebackers and defensive backs want to hit real bad. But he has to learn to slide, but like I said, it's hard to tell a guy he's a runner anyway to go down. But I think they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. I'd love to see them go. Shanahan has put in a great offense for this guy to run, similar to, like you said, he ran at Baylor. And I think he's doing a fantastic job with him. He looks like a young Elway.
I wouldn't go that far yet. Not young Elway. That was Royce, not me.
He looks like a young Elway. I mean, with the same coach, same system, he looks like a young Elway.
Let's talk about the Chicago Bears real quick. Get your opinion on that. With the Bears now, they lose in Sunday, but then we find out that Urlacher is going to miss the rest of the season. So the Bears going to make the playoffs?
You know, the Bears, I'm not quite sure of. They start out real good. We see them starting to lose. Injuries is really has to do with them winning. Urlacher out, that's going to be a big hole in the defense. But there's a lot of teams with players injured. You know,
True.
You have to keep going.
It's part of football, right?
Right, and the backups have to come in and play. But they do have a shot. Cutler has been playing great this year. You know, you brought up discussion about him being MVP. I don't think he's going to be MVP. But
well, just say he should be mentioned. My theory is the Bears have to win the NFC North
for him,
in.
absolutely.
I think a team like Seattle, you know, that they lost to in overtime this past Sunday is going to make it to the wild card spot. So I think they really have to win their division to get in, because there's going to be some other teams making some late charges to get into that wild card spot. But it could be the Bears team.
And you did mention Seattle. Speaking of Seattle, I think that we have a nominee for Coach of the Year in Seattle, because Pete Carroll has done a great job with this team, a bunch of no names. I doubt if anybody out there can name 10 players on that team, you know, but these guys are playing great. They play great football. You can tell they're well coached. And I mean, he's a player's coach, and you can see his enthusiasm on the sideline with these guys, and it rubs off on the team. You know, we always said that, you know, coach has a lot to do with how the team is built,
right.
and you know, he's a competitor. He gets excited. You see him congratulating players. You see him jumping up and down. You know, he's excited, and the team shows that.
Let's talk a little bit about NBA, jumping from the NFL, and a lot of action in the NBA last night.
Upset last night.
Of course, the Lakers, they lose again last night. They're now 8-10 on the season. and have a losing record with their new head coach, Mike D'Antoni. We did get a chance to talk to D'Antoni last time he was in Dallas, and his biggest thing he kept telling us was, he's waiting on Steve Nash to come back so they can fully run the offense the way they want to run it. Of course, Steve Nash did not play yesterday, but Dwight Howard did.
Arkansas didn't.
And they had a great lead going into the game.
17 points.
Right, going to the fourth quarter, but then they started fouling Dwight Howard, getting a chance to get back in it. Dwight missed a lot of free throws last night, going 8 for 16.
Right.
And he did make his last couple. They stopped fouling him, but there still remains this whole hack Dwight strategy is still working. So someone finally asked the question to D'Antoni last night. When you know they're fouling Dwight Howard at the end of the game, why leave him in? Why not take him out, put Paul Gasol in, a better free throw shooter? His response was, I'm going to leave him in because he's that type of player. He's a all-star caliber player. I'm not going to take a guy out of the game. It's because he can't shoot free throws. You think that's a good strategy?
Yeah, and the guy has to learn to shoot free throws. I remember Wilt Chamberlain was the worst free throw shooter I've seen in my life. But he learned how to make free throws.
Right.
Dwight Howard's been there long enough to learn how to do that. And we've seen him make free throws. Having said that, I told you, and everybody listen to me when I say this, I don't think the Lakers are that good to begin with. And I'm being perfectly honest with you. Everybody expects them to be this great team just because they did get Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. But so far what I've seen, this is just a mediocre team. They're not that great. I know they're the Lakers. I think that they're falling from grace, and I don't care who's the coach. It's just not. This is not working, and this team is the second coach they've had so far this year.
Well, all I gotta say is that no matter what it looks like right now,
right,
the Lakers will be right there at the end of things in the Western Conference Finals. They'll be right there.
Listen, there are a lot of teams that I can name.
It's still too early. It's still too early in the NBA to say who's better than who. It's still too early for that.
And I saw Oklahoma beat Brooklyn last night, and this team here, they had 60 points at halftime. And Kevin Durant was Player of the Week. He's the best player in the West right now. I will say that. And I just don't think these Lakers are that good. I've seen them play. They're just really not that good. Other than Kobe Bryant, they have nobody else.
Well, we'll find out. And I still think it's too early for that. I think they'll be fine. They'll be right there in the Western Conference. You guys know, Laker Nation, y'all know y'all can't support me. Y'all know that already.
Okay.
All right, let's jump to the other side of the coin, the East, real quick. And a surprise upset in the East. The Washington Wizards win their second game of the year, and this time they beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah, and I was shocked.
Your team.
I was shocked. We knew that the Wizards was going to beat somebody. And I remember they came and played the Dallas Mavericks. I was hoping, I hope Dallas don't be the first team that they lose to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just the way it is. It's just like football. On any given day, anybody can beat anybody. Miami probably was off that day. But as long as you have a legitimate team on the floor, you have a chance of winning the game. And I was just shocked. Of course, you knew they weren't going to go undefeated.
But one thing that Wizards team did do was expose Miami's lack of good defense.
Right.
I mean,
and that's always been their problem.
That's something they're going to have to work on. Teams have to know if you shoot very well, if you shoot over 55%, you have a great chance to beat the Miami
And they shot the ball very well.
They did, and they're going to let you do that. They're going to let you take some open shots. They're not going to really defend on the perimeter very well, and they're going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, and I thought the Washington Wizards played great. Maybe this give them some confidence. Maybe they'll win 10 games, but I think this changed the dynamic of that team having to beat Miami. They feel like they really accomplished something.
Of course they should. I mean, their second win of the season, they should feel some kind of way.
They may go and win more games. Maybe this is the turnaround that the team needed.
And our last story of the morning show is one I bring to you guys with a little puzzled look on my face. That's the New Orleans Hornets changing their name possibly next season to the New Orleans Pelicans. And it's all about owner Tom Benson wanting a nickname that fits more with the city of New Orleans, and the Pelican being the state bird. And I don't like this.
Listen, I got used to the Hornets. We all did. It's been around ever since the league, the team been there. But the Pelicans, I know of no other team, high school,
no
college,
professional team.
a professional team named the
and some minor
Pelicans.
league teams out there named Pelicans, I'm
the
sure.
Pelican is such an ugly bird,
Yeah.
to begin with.
To be synonymous
Yeah,
with,
with your team, and I mean, what kind of logo does that look like with Pelican?
I don't know.
Does he have a fish in his mouth?
I
what,
don't know.
I thought that was quite
Now
funny.
on the upside, the fans in Charlotte will get the Hornets name back if this happens. They've been wanting that name to get away from this Bobcats name.
Right.
But the Pelicans.
Let me ask you something. Would you ever rather have a Bobcat or a Hornet? I'm sorry, not a Hornet, but
Well,
a Pelican.
I think I'd rather have a Bobcat.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have a Bobcat. Too.
Well, anyway, we want to know you guys' reaction. Make sure you follow us on the web, rfsportsradio.com. Also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/rfsportsradio. We got a big week of programming for you guys. We'll come back to you guys tomorrow with our morning show and also Friday morning as well, so you can wrap up the week the right way. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about college football and the bowl games and all that good stuff, Heisman, everything to do with college football.
Hey, a Pelican. No,
a New Orleans Pelican just landed.
Yeah.
Then we'll also talk about NBA on Friday. And Saturday coming up, got a live broadcast of the DeSoto Eagles taking on South Lake Curl.
The #1 team in the country.
Absolutely. And they'll be playing South Lake Curl, who won the state title last year. So they'll be playing them. And then also we'll be giving you guys some insight on the Mavericks as well, too. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to and watching rfsportsradio.com morning show with Royce.
And get to meet our cousin Derek Fisher.
See you guys next time.